Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be doing a little bit of a mini album. I had hauled, because we're using this, I had hauled this a while ago, I'll be honest. The 49th and Market 4x6 envelope folio set. It comes with the ability to make two different little mini albums, and I've never used it. And I think because, you know, I don't even know why, because it takes effort and because probably intimidated. And plus, you know, I was looking online again to make sure that I can link it for you, and it's there. But there are other versions of this, and I'll be honest, even the online, you know, with a cherry on top, it shows the picture in the package, it shows the back picture of this, and then that's it. Like, there's no tutorial or like pictures of it, you know, being utilized. And even for me, I'm a little bit confused, but I did kind of, I think, map it together well because I'm confused. So here is the tri-fold. So this, it comes with it, and it's already pre-folded with the, like, the little score lines and everything else. So this one is to make this portion of it. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit so that we can see this a little bit better. So it has two pockets, and then it tells you can extend your folio with the extra flap, which, as I understand, okay, so here's pocket one that goes there. You have to bend these parts. I think this is that extension. So it just has the score line too, that you can add another leaf so that it'll fold in, and then boom, 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 boom. Okay, then these are considered the additional hinges to create the flaps. Great. Includes two templates for cutting cover paper. Oh, so then it gives you the pieces to trace so that I can trace from paper and then cover it up, which is why I have this pad of this big pad of paper there, because we're going to use the new Bold and Bright collection from Vicky Booten. Then here's that pocket, and then it should be a top hinge, right? And then here is the, and then here is the other one. So it's only two, which then makes the little flippy motion ones. So here are the flippy. See what I mean about, like it's not even labeled with like A, B, C, D. So these flippers will go here so that you can flip. Okay, and use it to document something. And then this side just shows the one, but I'm sure it's these little hinge ones. So the moment of like, boop, you know, you can do two, boop, boop. Okay, so that's where we're at. So these go with this. And then, oh no, one of those, oh no, so that's the thing. So one of those is here. So you can go boop, boop. Okay. So one side, then it has three, and then one, two, pick, okay, yeah. Okay, so that's how it goes. So what I am thinking, and then it just comes with the extra ones in case you do want to add another flip or flap, I believe, right? Additional spine hinges included to create page turns in both directions if desired. Oh, so meaning, like, you know, if you have this one go up, then this one could be here and hold your paper, and then it would open up too. So, I mean, it's a pretty cool concept with just very poor instructions. Hate to say it. And so, oh, and see, I even, or maybe there was more. What does it say for this? It doesn't even really tell you. So there's more pages, so I can have extra flippity flaps, which is cool. So my idea right now is, should we do this one or that one? We'll probably make both eventually, but just for the sake of making something and then kind of putting photos in it so you can see it, let's just start creating. And what I will say, what do I want to say first? Because I do want to use some of this. So what I will say is, you know, I don't even know what I want to say. So we can make the pockets with pattern paper and leave the base white, and then we'll make maybe like tags to stuff in with the pattern paper. And then for this one, we can put pattern paper here and pattern paper this one. I think that's what we'll do. I know, but it's double-sided. Actually, that doesn't matter. Okay, so we'll chase these with pattern paper. That's the first thing. We can decide if we want to add more pattern paper to the folds, to the backs. And then we can also decide if we want it on the outside, which outside I probably do. Yeah, especially like this part. Yeah, and probably this part. And then leave the rest white. We have that traceable one. Okay. Well, okay. We're going to make it a bright little book. We certainly are. You know? Okay. So I guess first, let me decide what card. We're going to have this one because we will see both sides. I'll probably just like, trace this and then have that as the hinge, Okay, so let's just take you through the creative process. We're going to be overall cutting out a piece of paper for this size, piece of paper with this, because we'll make the pockets colorful. And then we will cut out a shape for this one and this side so that when it's sealed, it looks like that. And we may have a theme of, I'll think of a theme and scroll through my phone and see what photos we can kind of make this cutesy in. But overall, it'll be like a nice little mini album, tucks, flip, and then, and we probably will cover up that one too. All right, so let's get flipping and see where I want to cut from. Okay, so I took you through my thought process on how to jazz up this little envelope. So there are two projects, like I had mentioned, two projects. One we'll do another time, but this one, let's get to decorating. So let me think. So we are tracing out remember the pieces that it came with. Now you could probably use this all as white as well. Keep that in mind, and then maybe just decorate it with the photos and stuff that you add. I also think this could be a fun project, if I didn't mention it, to do a little bit of mixed media work on it. If I just had my splat box and some of my inks and stains, I would love to just spritz it down and have those colors blend on this paper and get some really cool effects and have it just be paint splatters, and then add some stenciling you could, and make it kind of very like an art journal page, but it's three-dimensional and it's interactive, and you can hold all of your pictures and little memories inside. So that could work too. And you know what, stay tuned, because I may use that that idea for the other project and have it just all splattered out and everything else. But I think I would take the time to gesso out all the paper so that on gesso the inks have the ability to mix and blend. That could be really cute. Yeah, that could be. I think I just thought of my next project. This is and this is how my brain works. So you can see me just definitely trying to copy what is provided with the way the score marks work. So don't get me wrong, this probably could have been done easier with just using what came with it, but I figured it out. It takes me a little bit to always kind of think and then be like, okay, where do I want to cut? This is me auditioning out, do I want the cut pattern paper to just have the green or some of the orange? And I'm like, let's have some orange and the green. And so I just laid it out exactly where I wanted. I'm using just a gel pen. I believe it's gray ink so that it wasn't so bold by using black. And you see me using an X-Acto knife. So a collection of supplies were used to kind of get it the way I liked it to be. So you can see me getting the flap, and then I was like, oh, let's have, since it's so solid, let's have a pattern paper be the contrast for it. And I slowly made my way through it. I think I pulled out 3 or 4 of the 12x12s from that paper pad, and all of them do get utilized, because then as I open and close it, I was like, oh, I don't have to do, the back side of the envelope. But in the end, as a completed project, I ended up covering everything that was white. I pretty much ended up covering up. And how I did it as well, was always trying to leave in some places maybe a white border intentionally so that the joints could bend still very easily, and then in other areas I did it from, you know, seam to seam, and that worked out pretty good too. I will also mention that in this, in order to have the closure, I thought about it after the fact, so I'm telling you my mistakes. So you see how I'm entering and covering up the envelope part. Remember that this kit comes with 2 sets of magnets for it to close. So I didn't realize I didn't add the magnets under the paper until I was done, and then I had to kind of peel it up a little bit. So do remember that if you cover up the flip and the flap, the little, you know, envelope meeting part, add your magnets under the paper so that it could be blended. For me, especially for the one of the parts, it just had to be on top. So there's like a little silver knob that you'll see in the outro of me adding in the magnets, and that's just, like I said, a little mistake on me because I didn't think about it until I was all done, and I could lift it up on one side but not the other because it tore too much. And yeah, keep that in mind. So then I was just auditioning some of the 4x6 cards. That one that says Happy Times in green worked out perfectly for that pocket, and then in the other one, a fairly decent size scrap paper I made into a tag. So this one right there, I was like, oh, that kind of fits, and I'll just, you know, to me, I was just like, I'll snip off the corners and make it into a tag, and that will work beautifully. And so for me, this project was great because it developed even more to be interactive and using more of the papers I had left over as I went through. So just keep that in mind, like it's ever evolving. So here I am thinking, okay, if I'm going to have this one flip up, I can have this part, since it fits perfectly, flip out, and then can I possibly have another flip, you know? And I was like, yes, I am. Yes, I'm gonna. Yes, I'm gonna. So let's cut another piece of paper. And if you're ever going to make a flip, give yourself a little bit of a excess, especially if you can, because otherwise you have to use white, you know, paper as the hinge. You see how it's a little bit taller? That way I fold it over, and then that will be the flap to hold the top part of the interaction. That way it just stays cohesive, so the papers blend without having like a white strip for your joints. The white strips I do all the time though too, but that's always because, oh, I forgot to extend the paper I just cut. So keep that in mind when you're doing this too, that if you want some of the flips and the flaps, just keep extra of the pattern paper. That way when you make the joint, it will be harmonious through the interactive element. And that's how I did that one. So I do this part, and like I said, I'm like, okay, one goes up, and then one will open to the left, and then can I have one open to the right, or from the bottom? Which can I make? And so that's how, like I said, this project evolves. So as I'm also making it, I'm probably listening to a book like I always do. This is always that kind of, just, I guess to say, like a little zen time for me. This is that self-care. You know, some girls like going into the nail salon. Some girls like getting their hair done. I do not appreciate either of those, but I will get lost in a crafty moment, you know, however long this took me. I think maybe it was like an hour of footage that I'm, you know, shrinking down to be a 15-minute long video. But that's the beauty of editing. And so, like I said, me figuring this out was great. So then I'm still thinking, well, what kind of pictures am I going to have in here? Because I take so many pictures. Like, what can I really do? So as I'm working, I'm thinking about that, and where can I have journaling, and what can I talk about? And so sometimes I print excess prints, right? So I have a pile that's always on my desk of things that I thought I was going to use for a project but didn't. So I have them on the side of the desk so I can use in the future. And I end up looking through a few like selfies with my dogs. And so I had like 3 or 4 already like ready to go printed. And so that's how the evolution of the theme for this came to be, just like a dog mom kind of album. And I love that idea. So here I am, like I mentioned earlier, that I'm just covering up all those areas of white on the outside. I thought I didn't have to cover it, you know, up, but I was like, in the end, no, they all need to be covered. And see, here I am thinking, oh my God, I just forgot the magnets. I don't have the magnets. Where are those darn magnets? And so that is what this part was, like I said, and I'm like, oh, I forgot these, because how do I close it? So one will, on the flower paper, will stay exposed, but on the flappy flip part, I think I was able to pull up the paper. But you know what? I can't even remember. Let me pull it down as I see it right here next to my desk. Are they both exposed? Nope. In the end, they're both exposed. So here I am thumbing up the paper. I was like, ooh, can I lift up the paper? And I was like, ugh, I can't. It'll rip it. So both magnets are exposed. So like I said, the only thing I would say if you recreate it is put your magnet under the paper as you're covering it up. That way it'll have a little more of a finished look. But for the sake of having my project, I was okay with the little silver dot. And as I look at it still now, it's cute. I'm okay with the silver dot. But for the next one, I will remember to put the magnets underneath. So now it's time to embellish. So as I have everything good, like I said, and I had a few photos already ready to go, I cut some of them out, fussy cutting style, and then other ones I will add to all the interactive pages and come back and journal. So my journaling is not done as you see it here, but it's embellished perfectly. I go with they call it now, these collections are coming out with paper, how are they calling them? Papery. Like a papery. It's using like almost like thin like copy paper, weighted paper, so they're not like cardstock ephemera. It's a little bit thinner, but you get so many more elements. And so I'm all for that. But I know I'll never get, I brought 2 packs of this. If you saw not too recent ago, 2 hauls. I got the ones for Reason to Smile and for this Bold and Bright collection from Vicki Boutin. These packs come with so much, like 5 of each of the things that I'm like, dude, I'm never going to use all of these. So I will have them around to start using them like in my journaling, my journal, you know, just to kind of use up some of them because it comes with tons of stuff. If you haven't bought one of the papery packs, papery, I forgot how they labeled them. Definitely get them. It is worth the price. I think they're like $10 because you get so much more. It's just a really light-weighted ephemera pack, and that's okay. And so I just kind of go to town decorating everything up with everything that's bold and bright from this collection, which is really, really amazing. So I love it. Okay, I have gone through like all of the what did they call papery packs. I have both sets of die cuts. I think I've embellished it enough. Oh, this one didn't stick. And I'm happy where it's at. So I went with the theme of just being like a proud dog mom. So I found photos finally of Maui. I take tons of photos. It was just a matter of, because I think I mentioned these were all just sitting on my desk, like pre-planned, pre-printed for a project that I must have not ended up using. And so they were here, but I just didn't have an active one for Maui. So let me zoom you in a little bit so you can see. So it closes as so. A little envelope mini album, and I can add to it too, so that's also what's cute. I added that little fun detail with some of the die cut pieces, and then there's the other magnet part, and then it's a tri-fold out. And actually, ooh, you see, I could put a photo here too. Okay, in here we have that one fun card that we did that I cut myself out of. It was a selfie, and Moana had just gone in for a haircut, which is why she looks just kind of like a regular doxy when she's normally she's a wire hair, so she's usually frizzy. And then on the back side, I have a photograph of me the year I got my little doxy necklace. I still have it. I still love it. You know, ever since having Maui, though, doxies, I have 2 now, so they've been my fun breed. So me and my puppy Maui, he's my only boy, so we have him here. We have the dog walking photo of them up ahead with some balloons. Then my Zoe, who is no longer with us. She was my first dog, and that was one of her birthday photos. Oh, I didn't stick this one. See, I'm still sticking things down. Then this one is also of my Maui. Me and him on a selfie. This was like right on top of the stairs. So we have him, my sister's dog, and then my Zoe again on here, all cut out and cute. I put some ribbon. And then we can journal a little bit. And then I tucked this one in here too, because I know I'll probably write a whole lot more. So this is like my little mini dog mom mini album, which is so cute. And the bright colors, like this Vicki Boutin collection, is just adorable. So thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Please give this video a thumbs up as always. It helps my channel grow. And until next time, everyone, bye.